Hey, this is Haplin, and in this module, we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics, database reactivation. This is, in my opinion, the peak of the mountain of HighLevel. This is the most avalanchy of avalanches. In a sense, everything we've been talking about in this playbook has been building to this moment, this activity that we call list management and or list stewardship, which is most commonly expressed through database reactivations. Back when I was doing agency work, the first question we would ask on any sales call is how big is your compliant marketing list? This was the most important information that we needed from a prospective client because we knew that if they had just 100 or 200 people in their contact list, then we probably had a ways to go in terms of helping them grow. But businesses that already had 1,000, 2,000, or 5,000 contacts in their list, we pretty much knew and could take for granted that they were going to get results because we knew how to market directly to the list they already had. HighLevel makes this incredibly easy in contact bulk actions. All we have to do is click contacts. We can create any segment of contacts we want using filters like, for example, only people with a certain tag or people created after a certain day, more than 30 days ago or 20 days ago, etc. We can create any sub list of contacts we want and save them as what's called a smart list, or we can just mark the entire list. So let's go ahead and do that. I currently have a list of 1 inside of this demo count, so a very small contact list, but not to worry. We check the boxes and then we can click either bulk SMS. We can send an SMS. This is a very simple interface that lets you send all at once or at a scheduled time or in drip mode. We can also do the same with email as well as WhatsApp, or we can use this little robot icon to add to automation. This will just bulk add a workflow. So obviously workflows can have both SMS and email steps, etc., as well as other organizational pieces. So I recommend just building a workflow for your database reactivation and then adding it to all these contacts. I simply select the workflow that I want to send. I can do add in drip mode so I don't have to reactivate everyone at once. That might be a lot of conversations and a lot of action, but drip mode allows me to spread it out. So I just name it, then we give it a start time. We can define the batch quantity and the repeat after. So say I want to send 3 every minute. Then beyond that, we can specify a window so I could have it send only on weekdays and only from, let's say, 9 to 5 p.m. So just like that, I can activate a workflow and send a message out to my list 3 at a time every minute, 9 to 5 for as long as the list runs. So you could use this for like anything from just like a basic newsletter strategy to a specific seasonal promotion, Black Friday promotion. But the really cool thing here is that now we have this whole conversational infrastructure to drive conversations. So in the past, marketing messages like this were very one way. It was like seeing a billboard and you had to like call in some other number or visit a website to take action. Conversions just suck from that. Now we can put the verbiage into an SMS saying, hey, reply here if you'd like a free so-and-so, send it out to 1,000 people. And the conversion stats on that are crazy through the roof. First of all, you're going to see like a 98% open and read rate. It's sending out all to people who have compliantly opted in, who have filled out a form, who have given you consent to receive marketing and or expressed interest in receiving messages from you. You put a direct call to action to respond in that message, and it's in a channel that people are very used to conversing in. And in my personal experience, having run campaigns like this hundreds of times for different clients across the US and Canada, it is kind of harder to fail than it is to succeed. In fact, this strategy is so good that when I run it, I don't even count responses or try to measure response rate, positive response rate, or opt-in rate, or anything like that. I just measure appointment setting rate because I'm typically trying to drive sales appointments into a calendar when I run campaigns like this. So I just measure straight up how many appointments I set, and I can tell you on lists that I've run, it's typically somewhere between 2 and 10%. Obviously, it's a big range because it really depends on the offer as well as list health. How have you been managing the list before? If you just finished beating up a list with 3 or 4 database reactivations in the past week, obviously your 5th one is not going to perform so well. But if it's a healthy list, if it's a younger list, and if it's a powerful offer, and if the business has had a good reputation that it's managed and a good relationship with its direct community and its audience, as it's been generating these leads over time, then you can see really, really good results with this. So as you're using HighLevel, as you're implementing strategies, as you're generating leads with the ads manager, with social posts, organic, a form inside of a funnel, or you're webhooking leads in from some other source, however you're getting leads, Database reactivation and or long-term list engagement should absolutely be a tool inside of your tool belt. There's all kinds of reasons people ghost us in the moment. They may have had a family emergency, they may have been traveling, the timing may have not been right. But HighLevel is intentionally structured to give us this highly efficient, highly effective way to ensure that no lead ever slips through the cracks ever again. It's incredibly flexible. We could send a message every month, every quarter, every other week, whatever we want. It's also adaptable. We can send different messages to different segments of the list for different product interests, etc. But the best part of all of this is, well, it's actually twofold. The first best part of all of this is that it compounds over time. So every time you generate a new lead, you're also building up your list, so that when you run a blast or a reactivation this month and it's only 500 people, next month it might be more like 700, and over time the list grows, and over time your reactivations become more and more effective. People will also opt out too, and it's a good thing that HighLevel has all of that structure in place to make sure that when people decide that they don't want to receive messages from us, we have mechanisms to make sure that they never get messaged again, so everything is totally compliant and respectful. But overall, for businesses with good offers and good reputations, the opt-ins will greatly outpace the opt-outs anyway. But the second best part is that, disregarding the minuscule amount of money that it costs to send out a text message, it's totally free. You don't have to pay Facebook $10, $15, $20 to generate the lead. You already have the lead. You just have to pay the half a penny or the penny that it costs to send a message to them. You already put in so much effort to generate this lead at some point in time, via from web traffic, or maybe an in-person event. You had a forum on an iPad, or they entered a giveaway, or they clicked on your Facebook account, they got into a conversation. However you generated that lead, it took effort. So rather than having all that digital marketing effort go to waste for all the leads who don't convert relatively quickly, we can use HighLevel to make sure that we're re-engaging them proactively, respectfully, compliantly, but also persistently until the time is right. And this works the same at any size or scale. So whether your list is 100 leads large, 1,000, or 10,000 leads large, the reactivation process works pretty much the same. You send a message out to the list, take responses back, book appointments, make sales, have conversation AI manage it all for you. Now you can open the floodgates on your lead generation efforts with newfound confidence that you're going to be able to actually handle and take care of these leads for the long term. They are going to feel the presence of your business until they either buy something, or buy it again, or eventually opt out of your process. Now that you know the power of long-term list management and database reactivation as a tactic to re-engage all the folks in your CRM, you can go ahead and move on.